with kids in schools, where they do Japanese tea ceremonies, or they talk to people from Iraq or Brazil, and they call it the International Studies in Indiana Schools, to get rural white kids in Indiana to understand perspectives of others around the world. Very homogenous populations in Indiana, little farm communities in the South. Well, now my friend Aaron Daring, who George worked with at Minnesota, and who's a colleague of Joan, goes around the world funded by National Geographic. If you want to do cool research, go to National Geographic. He's going to Iceland in the summer with teachers. He's been to Greenland. He goes by dog sled to places, and he interviews people live for schools, for kids to do homework wrapped around his adventure learning projects. Cool stuff with collaboration. My friend here, Cassandra Brooks, studies the Chilean sea bass or the Antarctic toothfish. And kids in schools ask her questions when she's at the South Pole, or in Antarctica, not at the South Pole, studying this. And she's answering them through satellite from the ship that she's on. She only gets a satellite connection 1 hour a day, but she's able to answer their questions once a day from the boats. And let me just mention real quickly here the other thing about Western China. There's a project called the 1 kg project in Western China, where you sign up to bring a kilogram of stuff with you to kids in Western China. But it's not the 1 kilogram of stuff that matters, it's the fact that you go. And you sign up on the web. The web's a collaboration tool. So my point is you don't need the web to be impacted by the web. The web can get you people to come there. All you need to be is in a community that's served by a foundation that has web access, you see. You don't even need the web. You can download the web to a CD, potentially, right? Anyhow, number 8 gets us into virtual learning, like Will Wright, who built The Sims and Spore and other things. You get into Second Life. We've got law from Charles and Rebecca Nesson at Harvard, teaching law in Second Life. Or medical care, nursing and paramedic care. And Telegirl, who lives 2 miles from my house and really has pink hair like this, teaches English at Ball State in Second Life. Has a book, Second Life for Dummies, if you want to learn. Pepperdine has hot tub chats with guest authors, and then Central Florida does assets and liabilities in accounting in Second Life. And of course, and teacher training happens at Georgia in Second Life. And of course, we've got Austin. We've got 50 islands just been bought by the University of Texas. So some people say that Second Life is dying. I think right here in Austin, you've revived Second Life all by yourself, you see. Lots of cool stuff happening here in Austin in Second Life. Has anyone had a class in Second Life? You have. In what areas?
Well, this was Dr. Nestor's class, and this was on collaborative learning.
Very cool.
So, yeah, we had team members across. We had some in Israel and some in Canada. And
you learn anything?
Yeah, quite a bit.
There you go. Hey, she caught that too. Yeah. Who else had a class in Second Life? What class was it? It was same class. Dr. Russ is doing everything. Okay. 5 years ago my son's playing Halo, and I was mad at him for playing Halo. Other kids are playing Grand Theft Auto, and we always thought games would be bang 'em up, shoot 'em up. Now we have Farmville. Farmville. We're going to create little plants and little stuff, and we'll help you out people create plants. How many have a Farmville account? 90 million people have Farmville accounts. So we're at edutainment finally, right? Twitter peek. You want to peek into someone's Twitter account or Wiki Reader? You want to get Wiki-related content, right? Mobile learning. We're mobile all the time. This professor at Stanford created a $1.99 app to turn your phone into a flute and a horn. We're mobile all the time. This guy here built a pen where if you click on your notes, the audio comes up. There's a microphone and a camera built into this pulse pen from LiveScribe. And my friend James Moore from DePaul follows me around. I'm surprised he's not in the audience here. He's been at 4 or 5 of my talks in the past year and records them, and he puts them up on the web. He's like my stalker out there, I've got this. But first time he came to my talks in Denver, he says, "Can I record you?" I said, "Well, where's your recording device?" "My pen. Oh, cool." So we're mobile. We're mobile all the time. When 40,000 people a month get access, or a week get access in Rwanda, when 15 million a month in India get mobile access, 60,000 people an hour, the size of Bloomington, Indiana, every hour around the world get mobile access. We're going to be taking our mobile phones, and that's really where learning is going to be happening. It's going to be flip-out screens, bendable screens. We're going to fold out the screens and learn from, read full-length novels. You know, we got we've got the Live Scribe pen, but we also have these little MP3 players where your teacher's in your pocket. Kids in Mexico and Honduras can now take literacy training. Their parents are immigrant workers, and they can take, you know, along with them, they can take their teacher. They might not have teachers or schools, but for $20, rent to own, $1 a month, they now have a teacher in their pocket. The Pocket School Project from Stanford. And the One Laptop Per Child Project. You know, the little $100 laptop, which actually costs $199.99, but is being used around the world. There's still a lot of controversy about this particular project, but MIT is working on a $10 laptop. When we get terabyte data sticks in our pockets and $10 laptop computers, we'll stop talking about technology costing money. It'll be more about the context and the pedagogy. And finally, number 10, the last one, because we're almost out of time here, the personalizing our learning. You can personalize your learning through RSS feeds and podcasts. I can listen to Shakespeare. I can listen to This Week in Television Technology. I can be a Facebook user and join a group in Facebook, whatever Facebook group that is, and get things like George today got a Twitter feed sent to him so we could access knowledge, personalizing my learning. At Purdue University, Indiana, we call it Purdue University, by the way. At Purdue University, they have the hot seat. So behind someone like me is a display of Twitter, or questions coming in from Twitter, that professors can address the students' questions anonymously. Very popular, the hot seat. Language learning on the web. Spanish pod, Chinese pod, French pod, Italian pod. Reach out and test me. There's 300,000 students a month downloading Chinese pod. They thought English pod would win. They were wrong. The Chinese didn't want English pod. It was the Americans and the Brits that wanted Chinese pod. Hundreds of thousands of people. 2 million people are using Live Mocha. Have anyone been to any of these? Live Mocha? You can sign up to take a language or teach a language. In 2 years, this has grown to 29 different languages: Hindi, French, German, English, you name it. You can learn it in Live Mocha. And they also have free training materials. Most of these make money by selling premium services over the top. That's how Chinese pod makes money and so forth. So those are the 10 openers, and there's some predictions in the book.
Powerful as the Emperor has foreseen.
These are the 10 predictions, and I don't have time to go through each one, but I always like to talk about one prediction, and that's the emergence of super e-mentors and coaches. The super e-mentor is somebody who has a domain expertise, like accounting or social work or journalism, and understands how to use the web for learning, and has human development skills or counseling skills. If you have all three, you will be golden in this internet age. You'll know how to get people to learn from the internet, you'll have the human development skills to interact, and you'll have a domain expertise. There are many other things like having a teacher present whenever you need them. Your peers will be coming from around the world in the future. You know, kids in neighborhoods in the future will have their peer group not from their local district, but from anywhere around the world. You know, mobile access is going to be the big thing. Learning courses from your mobile phones and stuff like that. So, my book is an attempt to reveal the wide range of learning options. The wide range of learning options in front of us, and we should choose wisely. This individual didn't choose wisely, and if you saw the movie Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, you'd know why what happened to him. Hopefully that won't happen to you.
Yes, we can.
So hopefully, wiki my. Okay, so worldisopen.com has the prequel, the postscript, all the web links, all the references. Training Share has the PDF of this talk in color, and Publication Share has a number of articles. So hopefully you got some. That's a long. I've talked more than I normally do. You guys gave me a little extra time. I apologize for going, well, actually about a minute or two over. Maybe I know some of you need to go. Do I have any questions or comments from anyone? Yes?
Okay, so it's maybe one of your predictions that I didn't get to read them quick enough. I wonder, other than gaining achievement, fame, recognition, for business who are into it to make money, say like publishers or software companies like Blackboard, what's the outlook for them?
What's the outlook for publishers? Yes, Steve. That's her question. If people have questions, are fishing for answers. Here's your fish.
Ooh, thank you.
Good catch. what is and what's happening is that people like